Whenever you are ready.
All right, let's do it. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Wairika City Council meeting for Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. And this is actually our first meeting of the year. So I want to wish all of you a happy new year. And I also want to just share with you some encouraging words. And those are, I invite you to live large this year. And by that, I mean, fill yourselves with positive things, overflowing joy, peace, and respect for yourself and for your neighbor. I encourage you to laugh often, give others the benefit of the doubt, love your family and your friends with all your heart. And I think that if we all do that, we're all bound to have a very prosperous 2026. So welcome. And with that, Councilmember Middleton, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I'd like to report out on closed session. We met in closed session. We came out of closed session at 5:56 p.m. with no reportable action. And I would like to note that Councilmember McCoy excused himself from item B on the closed session agenda. And will the clerk please at this time take roll call?
Good evening, Wairika City Council. Please let me know you are present by saying aye. Councilmember Davis.
Aye.
Councilmember McCoy.
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton. Councilmember Clerk. Councilmember Baker.
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 6, approval of the agenda. What are the wishes of the council?
Councilman McCoy, so moved. Councilman Middleton, a second.
I have a motion by Councilmember McCoy, second by Councilmember Middleton to approve the agenda as printed. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 Yes, motion passes unanimously. Item 7, no presentations this evening. Item 8, public comment. Public participation is welcomed and invited at all city council meetings. This time is set aside for residents to address the city council on matters listed on the consent agenda, as well as other items not included on the regular agenda. If your comments concern an item noted on the regular agenda, please address the council when that item is open for public comment. The city requests that persons addressing the city council refrain from making personal, slanderous, profane, or disruptive remarks. Please speak into the microphone from the podium, which adjusts up and down electronically to accommodate the speaker. Please state your name for the record prior to giving your comments. Please limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Do I have any public comment at this time?
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here tonight to make a request for another citizen of Siskiyou County who needs help. In fact, 2 citizens. The first, Josh Frick. You may know Josh. He has that, I believe it's the kettle corn business at the fairs. He's a great human being. He's donating one of his kidneys to another long-term citizen of this county, a graduate of the school system from kindergarten to high school, Noah Reifenberg. Noah is 25 years old and was hit with an autoimmune disease that killed both his kidneys at the same time. Anyway, Josh turned out to test to be exactly the match that Noah has been looking for 5 years. So we're going to hold a fundraising dinner for Josh Frick because I don't believe many people know that when you become a donor, organ donor, you incur significant expense of your own for the process you have to go through. So we're doing this, it's a dinner at, on February the 6th between 3 and 5:30 PM at the Fort Jones Community Church for a fundraiser for Josh. It's a teriyaki chicken with the trimmings. And I'm just here to tell you about that and to ask you to tell your friends and neighbors and ask people to support Josh for what he's doing. It's a big help. Thank you.
Thank you. And can you please state your name for the record? Can you please state your name for the record?
I'm sorry. Anthony Entiso.
Thank you.
May I ask Anthony a question?
Yes.
Is Scott Frick cooking?
I'm sorry?
Is Scott, no, not Frick, Oliveira. Is Scott cooking?
I think he is.
Okay, that's what, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I believe he is, yes.
And where do we get tickets?
I'm sorry?
Tickets, where?
Oh, there are no name tickets, just go to the,
Thank you, Tony. So who's Dan's coming?
What Tony failed to tell you is it's a drive-through.
Thank you.
So you can just drive through, so you don't have to cook that night and you don't have to do dishes, no cleanup, and you're going to help a really good cause. My name is Louise Gliotto. I live in Wairika, and I have this to pass out to the city.
thank you, sir.
And I'm going to talk about marijuana, and I know that you have it on the agenda, but it's specifically on the agenda about the fees to charge for the quote unquote dispensary for medical marijuana. And so I want to speak about marijuana during public comment. And the reason I handed out those to you in case I run out of time, that you could hear what else I would have said. And I want to address today is why marijuana is not considered a medicine. To approve a medicine, the FDA requires 5 criteria to be fulfilled. The drug's chemistry must be known and reproducible. There must be adequate safety studies. There must be adequate, well-controlled studies. The drug must be accepted by well-qualified experts, and scientific evidence must be widely available. Marijuana fails to meet any of these 5 criteria for acceptable use in the United States at present to be considered a medicine. And when you get your slip from the doctor, it's not a prescription, it's a recommendation because it doesn't fit these criteria to be a prescription. When prescribing FDA-approved medications, clinicians prescribe a specific dose and duration of treatment according to the package insert, which is established by randomized controlled clinical studies. However, there has been no randomized controlled clinical trials to establish the safety and efficacy of commercial marijuana products, nor the optimal dose range. For medical marijuana, the specific, and they use the word cannabis, and I like to say marijuana, products and amount are often determined by consumers or at the discretion of the marijuana retailer. Medical marijuana lacks strong scientific evidence to support many of its purported benefits. FDA-approved medications are manufactured with rigorous standards for dose and purity, which is not being done in these dispensaries, and who knows where they're getting their drugs from or their marijuana from to produce in their facilities. The manufacturing process can produce toxic chemical compounds, including pesticides and organic solvents such as butane. Allowing medical marijuana products to be sold in pharmacy will lead, and this is the part that's the most egregious to me, allowing them to be sold, it relays or leads to false benefits, false beliefs in their benefits, and creates more confusion to the consumer. and the consumer assumes because it's a dispensary or that the city has sanctioned it and given it license, then they think that this is a safe product to buy or to use, and it's not when you consider, and I don't know if any of you, besides the two people I've talked to, looked at that video I sent you, so you can see the kind of chemicals that are being used on our illegal cartel grows out here in Siskiyou County. Some of them aren't even manufactured in the United States. And just to let you know, because I know one of the arguments is, well, we're talking about compassionate care. Currently, there are only 4 FDA-approved cannabis-derived medications. Epidiolex, and that is used for 2 rare forms of epilepsy. Marinol, and also that's used for nausea and vomiting caused by HIV or chemotherapy. And then there's one called Sesament, which is also used for vomiting and chemotherapy. And I've talked to the pharmacies in town, and they all carry that. So there's no need to be going to a quote unquote a dispensary and getting your medication when in fact it's not medication. Thank you.
Don Mariachi. I, Max, you there? So I, would like to talk about this dog notices. The first dog notice, for dog licensing came out November 3rd, 2025. So, okay, I get that. The second one came out, and if you're a person who has to schedule your budget in January because January is when it's due, and for me it's $172 to license my dogs because I got 4. They're all fixed, but 4. So the second notice comes out December 22nd. So again, I'm like, I don't understand why, first of all, they come out so late. I mean, so early. And then the second one comes out even earlier. You know, if I had just put these down and walked away and forgotten about them, then what? You know, then I get a late notice. I'm thinking that, you know, it costs 74 cents plus actually, you know, printing all of these. I would think that the city, I mean, it's our money, our citizens of Wairika's money that you all are spending willy-nilly here. These do need to be sent out, but maybe not so early to where people are going to actually be throwing them away or forgetting about them because it's way too early. They're not due till January. And when you're getting your second notice and then you end up getting a third notice in February because, you know, they're due March 1st. I get that. You know, yeah, you need to remind your citizens, but at the cost of this so early when people might be throwing these away, think about that. Don't do that, please. Put it out later, please. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment at this time? If not, we'll move on to item 9, which is the consent agenda. And all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be enacted by one motion unless any member of the council wishes to remove an item for discussion. So what are the wishes of the council?
Are you looking for a motion?
I am.
I will move that we accept the consent agenda.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Okay, I have a motion.
Madam Mayor?
Oh,
Oh.
Mr. Jared?
Yes, I believe as to item 9G, the record should reflect that Councilmember McCoy would not be participating in that since he's not participating in the closed session discussion as well. Is that correct? Correct, Mr. McCoy?
That's fine. I'm not looking.
No.
So,
Madam Mayor?
I'm voting
Ma-
because I am a volunteer.
Madam Mayor?
But he can vote on the.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I can't hear what Mr. McCoy said just now, but all that needs to be done is he doesn't need to leave the room. He does not need to leave the room. He can participate. All that needed to be stated is that he would not be participating in the vote of consent in regard to item 9G.
Thank you, Mr. Jared. Councilmember McCoy has opted to leave the room at this time. So, I have, the motion from Councilmember Davis, second by Councilmember Claire, to approve the consent agenda as, presented. And, for this, vote, will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
All those in favor of adopting the consent agenda as presented, please signify by saying aye. Councilmember Davis.
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton, Councilmember Claire, and Councilmember Baker.
Yes,
Thank you.
the motion passes. With
So,
Councilmember McCoy, recusing himself.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and I would like to invite Chief Lemus down at this point in time to introduce us to our newest volunteer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I'm pleased to introduce, in the consent agenda was an approval for Mr. Alex McIntyre as our, vote him in as a new member. And he's also currently a student in the paramedic program at the College of the Siskiyous. And so we're going to welcome him in, and he will be a resident of the fire station. So he will get a lot of experience here real soon. So Alex, you want to come on down? Right behind it. So it's always good to get young people that want to participate as volunteers. So we welcome him with open arms, and I'm sure he will do us a good job. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, the opportunity, sir.
We'll get a quick picture.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, we're gonna get a quick picture.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah.
I can get a quick picture with council members. Let's do and kind of a feel if we can, please.
Back here.
Either where everybody's gonna feel comfortable, not smush. Yes, we're going in the back.
We're going in the back.
I don't know if I can. We might be able to.
And we're gonna put you right in the middle.
Camera shot. Can't do me like that.
All right. And ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Jared.
And for me, I am going to be leaving. So I injured myself over the weekend, and so I'm kind of need to go home. I just wanted to come in at least see, hear the public comment and see his introduction, but I'm not gonna be able to stay, so I apologize to everybody. I already let the council know and everybody know what's going on, so I'm just want to let everybody know. Have a good night. Sorry.
Good night. Take care.
Yeah, well.
Good night.
See you next time. Yeah.
So item number 10, public hearings, and I'm going to read the public hearing protocol for everybody. 1, the mayor will describe the purpose of the public hearing. 2, city staff will provide the staff report. 3, city staff will respond to questions from the city council. 4, the mayor will open the public hearing. 5, the public wanting to comment will come to the podium, provide the city clerk with their name and provide their comments. 6, the mayor will close the public hearing, and 7, the city council will deliberate and act on the item. So item 10A is our planning manager. The agenda title is Cannabis Business Permit Fee Schedule.
Good evening. This is Alia Roca Lezra, your planning manager. And the motion before you tonight is to approve resolution 2026-04, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Wairika adopting a comprehensive cannabis business permit fee schedule and adopting the finding that the project is statutorily exempt from CEQA. So staff have prepared a fee schedule for cannabis business permits. These fees are intended to recover costs for staff time spent processing and issuing cannabis business permits for those non-storefront retail cannabis operations within the city of Wairika that the city council adopted back in October 2025. That was ordinance number 885. Adding chapter 5.30 cannabis business activities to the Wairika Municipal Code. This ordinance regulates non-storefront retail cannabis businesses and establishes a regulatory program requiring all commercial cannabis operators to obtain a city-issued cannabis business permit before beginning operations. And administering this program requires the city to incur costs associated with processing permit applications and making sure that applicants and businesses comply with the municipal code and all related regulations and policies. So staff are proposing the establishment of 3 new fees to support the administration of the city's cannabis business permit program. The first is the application review fee, which would recover the costs associated with reviewing a cannabis business permit application and issuing the permit for those applicants that qualify under the program. This fee covers the staff time and resources required to evaluate application materials, verify applicant eligibility, and complete the initial permitting process. The second fee is the cannabis business permit fee, which would come after the application review fee once the applicant is approved, and it would apply to all permitted cannabis businesses and is intended to fund the ongoing administration of the cannabis regulatory program, which includes compliance monitoring, routine inspections, enforcement activities, and other regulatory functions necessary to ensure continued adherence to local and state cannabis requirements. And this fee would be due upon the initial issuance of a cannabis business permit. The third fee is the renewal fee, which would recover the costs of reviewing renewal applications and issuing those renewal permits. This fee supports the administrative review process by covering staff time for evaluating compliance history, verifying required documentation, and confirming that the business remains in good standing. Payment of the renewal fee would be required at the time that the renewal is submitted. This item is exempt from CEQA. We publicly noticed this public hearing per the government code section 6062 part A. The city staff recommendation tonight is that the city council approve the attached resolution adopting the proposed cannabis business permit fee schedule and determine that its adoption is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act.
Thank you. And for the record, could you please state out loud what the fee amounts are for each of the 3 permits?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm just flipping to page 196 of the agenda So the application review fee is $1,933 per application. The cannabis business permit fee is $850 per application, and the renewal fee is $691 per business per year.
Thank you.
Sure.
Does anybody have any questions?
I believe I do.
Councilmember Davis.
Tell me, how did you figure these fees?
So these fees are based on what staff, how much time we believe staff will be spending processing these applications. So how long it'll take staff to review the initial application and make sure those compliance checks and those annual renewal fees to make sure the applicants are in compliance throughout the year and eligible for a renewal. So it's purely staff time. Those hours from different departments is how we calculated these rates.
And ca- can you be a little more specific how many hours and what you charge per hour?
Yeah, sure. It's all in on page 196 through the next couple of pages. But for the application review fee, you can see in the community development department, we have about 10 hours total for planning, code enforcement, and building to review the initial application. We have some time in public works to cover those pre-application meetings that we have for all planning and building projects. And then we have some time in fire, as the fire department also often attends pre-application meetings, and then some time for the police chief because he will be reviewing these applications in detail as well, since it has to do, so because of the nature of the business. So that's for the application review fee, and you can see the rates are there as well for each department and position. And so you can see the total there. We have about 18 hours total across departments and staff for that total of $1,933. I'll continue on to page 197 for the cannabis business permit fee. Once again, in community development, we have about 5 hours set out for that department. And then we just jump to the police chief. We have 3 hours there. So that's 8 hours total for a total of $850 across departments and staff. And for that renewal fee, that'll involve community development again for just reviewing the renewal application and finance for issuing and processing the application on their side, and then once again police department for doing that application intake and review for a total of 7 hours and $691. Does that clear things up, or do you have any more questions?
No, go ahead, Mr. Davis. You have the floor.
How did you determine those hours? I don't understand.
Right.
Where you've got 18 hours. I read that. I'm
Yeah.
Not uninformed. I just don't know how you determined you got in your PLN on page 196, 6 hours.
Yeah, so I kind of look back on my time processing other types of applications and how long it takes me to review planning and building projects, and I estimate, for example, the time it'll take me to review an application, process an application. So we do track our hours on our projects in the planning department. So that's how I determined my hours, and then generally estimating other departments' hours in a similar fashion.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's the answer I want.
Any other questions, Mr.
No,
Davis? Okay. All right. Any other questions? I just have one question. What is the definition of fully burdened hourly rate?
That's a good question. I'm not in finance, but my understanding is that it includes those the benefits that staff
Okay.
receives. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, as there's no other questions by the council, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing at this time and open it for public comment.
That's for fees, right? Not the project.
Right, this is for fees. Yeah.
Because the project's done.
It's more of a question than is Louise Gliotto, Wairika. It's more of a question than it is a comment. I remember when we heard about the grant, and in that grant, they referred to an equity person that we got an extra amount of money, and I don't remember what it was, maybe $15,000. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And that if the city recruited an equity person, and when I looked up the definition of equity in relationship to this grant, it said a person who's been formally charged with or involved with fractions against the marijuana laws. Either they were a seller or a buyer or some kind of infraction with the law. So I'm wondering if these fees that you're charging the other folks, are these fees being charged to an equity person? Do they have to pay the same fees? And have you had an application yet from an equity person? Seems to me that if you've had a person who's had a run-in with the law, that doesn't seem like it's going to turn out very good. Thank you.
Dawn Marie Autry. So I'm wondering, when she's talking about, when Alia is talking about her hours, does that mean that she comes in to work on the weekend or stay late after work? She's getting paid all day long. So if you're getting paid all day long to do your job, why all of a sudden are the fees doubled? That seems to me like double dipping. So it's walking a real fine line to me. And another thing about marijuana, you need to remember that dispensaries can only use seed to sale. It's completely seed to sale tracked by the state of California. They do not buy illegal weed from Shasta Vista. They're not allowed to. And if they got caught, they'd be shut down. And I can tell you, it's not worth the money for them to do that. They don't want that weed, they buy in it. They go seed to sale. It's the law. And also, listen real carefully. Says that there's no proof that it's medical. The drugstore's selling 4 forms of it. It is medical, it's science, and it's helping people, actually helping people. So this marijuana dispensary is for those people who need the actual drug. And that's the only way they can actually live. Believe me, I know someone with fibromyalgia, they wouldn't be able to even breathe without it. So it matters. And it's also mandatory by the state of California. Let's not forget that. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment at this time? If not, I will close the public hearing and bring it back to the council for deliberation and action.
Just one comment, I guess, for me. Thank you for all your work on, I know this is a new task for a lot of the cities to come up with the fees in this type of business model. And I just have to say it's a very long process. And I believe the fees are they're pretty accessible for somebody who wants to do this type of business. They're going to have their ducks in a row and their money to support them. And especially going just like, for a liquor license, going through the chief and everything, they're going to be evaluated quite extensively to get that permit and whatnot. So I think that all the protocols in place. So thank you for your hard work. It's been a long go for this. And I do know many people that I have that benefited from, cancer patients have benefited from medical marijuana where they couldn't eat, and it's helped them. So it was the only thing that would help them. So yeah, I think we don't even know if someone's going to even put a business here. There's that. We don't know if someone's going to come to our Siskiyou County and do this project, but I think it's good that we're going to have our fees in place and our business model for someone who wants to come do it. But it gives them opportunity to do so, but who knows if they will take advantage of it. Thank you.
Yeah. Councilmember Davis?
I have one more question. Supposing they don't meet the qualifications that you set up and they've paid their fees because you're gonna review it. When they don't meet the qualifications, what do you do with the fees? You keep them?
Yes, because those fees cover the staff time to actually review the application. So if they don't meet the qualifications, they would be denied, and the application review fee is non-refundable because staff are spending time reviewing that application.
Will they know that
Yes,
when they start? It's a non-refundable fee?
yes, they will. Yes.
Okay. What are the wishes of the council?
Council Middleton, I will make the motion to approve resolution 2026-04 of the City Council of the City of Wairika adopting a comprehensive cannabis business permit fee schedule and adopt that finding. The project is statutorily exempt from CEQA.
This is Councilman McCoy. Although marijuana is not my drug of choice, neither is alcohol. I do support this. We do need to cover our costs. We need to cover both our indirect costs that you talk about, the mandated, for the statutory costs over and above your salary, and we need to cover the salary as well. So, and this is it's common in education to do that as well, you bill things out to certain funding streams. So I'm going to second the motion that Councilman Middleton just made.
Thank you. So I have a motion on the floor made by Councilman Middleton, seconded by Councilmember McCoy to approve resolution 2026-04 of the City Council of the City of Wairika, adopting a comprehensive cannabis business permit fee schedule and adopt the findings that the project is statutorily exempt from CEQA. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Sorry. All those in favor of approving resolution 2026-04, please signify by saying aye. Councilmember Davis,
No.
Councilmember McCoy,
And I will say that because if we do not pass this, then we're going to be just absorbing all the costs and getting no money back.
Councilmember Middleton,
Aye.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Okay, the next, thank you. And you're up again.
Yes.
The next public hearing is a tentative parcel map for 205 Humbug Road, Wairika, assessor's parcel number 053-662-730.
Thank you. So the City of Wairika received an application from Daryl Collins to split that APN that you said, 053-662-730, from one parcel into two. The existing parcel has a single-family home and a detached accessory structure that is being used as a personal workshop. The proposal would divide the 1.27 acre parcel into one 0.63 acre parcel and one 0.64 acre parcel. The shop would be converted into a single family residence, and the existing single family residence would be left with no proposed changes. No changes are proposed to the general plan or zoning designations of low density residential. The project location is 205 Humbug in Wairika. All properties that are surrounding this parcel they have a general plan land use designation of low density residential and a zoning code designation of low density residential as well. The property is surrounded by single family residences with the same land use and zoning designation. The proposed tentative parcel map would not change any of the land use designation or zoning code designation. Therefore, the proposed new parcel map would conform to the lot standards for a low density residential lot. I'm going to skip the specific site standards. If you do have questions about those, let me know. These are, listing the density and intensity, site development standards, building standards, etc. Parking requirements, lot dimensions. The proposed lot split will not create a non-conforming lot under the current zoning standards. Final verification of compliance with all applicable lot standards will be verified during the building permit application process when the applicant submits a building permit to convert that accessory shop into a single-family residence. Pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, this project will not have a significant effect on the environment as it involves the conversion of a small structure and the conversion of an accessory structure into a single family residence. And because it is a property in an urbanized area and the lot is being split into 4 or fewer parcels. Chapter 15.20 of the Municipal Code outlines the procedures and findings for approving a tentative parcel map. It may be approved pursuant to 15.20.090 if the tentative parcel map complies with the requirement of the Title 15 subdivisions of the Wairika Municipal Code, the Subdivision Map Act, and the Zoning Code, and city staff have determined that this tentative parcel map complies with those necessary requirements. This project was properly noticed to public agencies, the assessor's office, the tax collector, the County Air Pollution Control District, CAL FIRE, Caltrans, the Department of Fish and Wildlife, and the school districts, and the city has not received comments from any agency at this time. The city also noticed the public hearing per Government Code Sections 65090 and 65091, which require the posting of a public notice in the Siskiyou Daily News and in the council chambers and City Hall. The city staff have not received any public comments at this time. The staff recommendation tonight is we recommend the city council approval of the attached resolution with the recommended conditions of approval. Based on the information presented in the tentative parcel map and application, the findings for approval can be made with the proposed conditions. Many of the conditions of approval are codified in state law and reiterated in the conditions of approval to ensure compliance with the city's subdivision regulations and the state subdivision map act. And I will add as a side note, this property was previously 2 parcels that had the boundary line removed. So it's already been 2 parcels. It was combined for the current owners they wanted to build a shop. And now it's being subdivided again to convert that shop into a single family home. So with that, I will pass it over to you.
Right. Anybody have questions?
I do not.
Councilmember McCoy?
So the home you're talking about in question is Chuck and Joan Castor's home. They taught it for Wairika Union School District for about 35 years each. The back parcel is a metal, it's a prefab shed. It's where they stored their motor home. Do the Collinses, does Daryl have any, you probably haven't, well, there are no plans, obviously, because they'll be jumping the gun. Will the current owners be allowed to remodel and leave it with that metal finish? Or are they going to be required to redo the finish? Because it's a nice neighborhood and it does detract. I've always thought, even when Chuck and Joan built up there, that it detracts from the whole neighborhood. Because I can remember when they built it.
I'm not sure exactly what it looks like, but it will have to meet the California building code. So as long as it meets the California building code, it would be approved through the department. So, you know, I'd have to take a look at the building and see the exterior material. So I would have to get back to you on that one. I'm not sure right now.
I mean, I don't have any concern about that other than if I was the homeowner, because, you know, you've got the homeowner on one side, I don't know who they are, but you got Cal Lukes was on the corner, Jane and Pisano and her family were on the other side of the Castors. And then, so you had 3 or 4 homes right there with the Castors where people lived there for 40, 50 years. And then when the Castors put this up, I don't know how it was received. I just know that if I had it in my neighborhood, I'd go, "Ooh, that's ugly." And, you know, and Daryl can obviously can do what he wants, but I hope that he would bear that in mind and try and make it blend with the other homes there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. So at this time, I will open it up for public comment. Do I have any public comment on this item? As I open the public hearing? Okay, there's no public comment, so I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing at this time and bring it back to council for deliberation and action.
Council Middleton, I will make the motion to approve Resolution 2026-05 of the City Council of the City of Wairika approving the conditions tentative parcel map number 20251-61 of the subdivision of 1.17 acre parcel into 2 parcels and approving a Class 15 and Class 3 categorical exemption from the California Environmental Quality Act.
Councilman McCoy, I'll second that motion.
I have a motion from Councilmember Middleton, second by Councilmember McCoy to approve Resolution 2026 as described by Councilmember Middleton. Clerk, will you please take a roll call vote?
All those in favor of approving resolution 2026-05, please signify by saying aye. Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember McCoy,
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton, Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you so much. We now are moving on to item number 11, city business. This is the approval of the memorandum of understanding between the City of Wairika and the United Public Employees of California, LIUNA.
Yes, correct. That is correct.
Local
LIUNA.
792, for miscellaneous employees.
Good evening, Council. John Elsnab, interim city manager for the city. For tonight, the staff has been negotiating with the United Public Employees of California, LIUNA, Local 792 for miscellaneous employees to reach a memorandum of understanding. The parties agreed on the MOU that addresses employee compensation and health benefits, which I'm going to outline below. Many of these compensation and salary benefits are similar for the other units that we settled back in 2025. The term of this agreement starts February 1st, which is the beginning of a pay period in 2026, and it ends June 30th, 2029. Wages, same cost of living for the other units. 3% cost of living effective February 1st, 2026, and then 3% COLA for July 2026, 27, and 28. Equity adjustments, we did a compensation study for this unit, and we had two classifications that were out of market, and that'll be the maintenance and operations supervisor. The maintenance and operations supervisor will receive an extra 0.75% equity, and then 5.25 for the mechanics, which were the most out of market in the YEA group. Benchmarking, we did some benchmark positions for senior maintenance worker, senior fiscal admin tech, and senior maintenance worker, and that benchmark is 10.25% above a base position. So basically your senior positions, if we went top step to top step, make 10.25% more. That's a lot of additional responsibility they take on, and we felt that was equitable. We have some salary survey language that is now in the MOU. So when we do our next salary survey in about 3 years, we'll do exactly, we'll follow the language of the MOU. Medical was the same for the rest of all city employees, 85% of the cost of PERS Gold. We did a certificate pay and a tool allowance for the mechanics. So to incentivize getting their ASE certification, and then a $25 per pay period, since the mechanics buy their own, a majority of their own tools. Longevity pay up to 5% of base pay based on years of service. That's to help retain some of our folks that have worked for the city for more than 10 years, that longevity premium. Some agencies have it, some don't. But hopefully it helps incentivize staying with the city. Holiday pay, we added Cesar Chavez Day, which is similar with the county and then similar with all the other units. Vacation leave, it does increase, but it doesn't increase until January of 2027. Holiday in lieu. So for our water and wastewater operators, they'll receive a 6% holiday in lieu, similar to PD, where their schedules, you don't have to work around the holiday. If you're scheduled to work the holiday, you're scheduled to be there, versus having the holiday off. We have to ensure our water and wastewater systems are always staffed. Deferred comp, dollar for dollar, up to $2,000 annually. And then as far as concessions, we did get rid of comp time, dual cert premium, and medical in lieu, which was medical in lieu was if you didn't have city health insurance, you would get a kind of a stipend. For the rest, the estimated fiscal impact for 25-26 will be $58,000. And my recommendation would be to approve these benefits so we can move forward with executing the MOU and being done with bargaining. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Elsnab? Mr. McCoy?
Hey, Mr. Elsnab, I want to thank you. Now at least we can budget and know what, for the next 3 years, what we're up against, which is very important to us when we're budgeting our 2-year budgets. So thank you and Melissa and everybody for all the hard work they did. Just, can you clarify for me, the addition of Cesar Chavez Day to the holiday schedule, which I know is a state holiday, it's not a federal, is it in addition or is it in lieu of another holiday?
It is in addition.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the council at this time? All right, I will open it up for public comment. There's no public comment, so I'll bring it back to the board for consideration and action.
You need a motion?
Yes.
I'll make them. I will move resolution of the City Council of the City of Wairika approving execution of the memorandum of understanding between the City of Wairika and the United Public Employees of California, UPEC, Luina Local 792 for miscellaneous employees.
This is Councilman McCoy. I'll second Councilman Davis's motion.
I have a motion from Councilmember Davis, second by Councilmember McCoy, to adopt Resolution 2026-06 of the City Council of the City of Wairika, approving the execution of the Memorandum of Understanding between the City of Wairika and the United Public Employees of California, LIUNA, Local 792 for miscellaneous employees. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
All those in favor of adopting resolution 2026-06, please signify by saying aye. Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember McCoy,
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton,
Before I make my vote, I just want to say there were some things I know that weren't too great, but that comes in negotiations. So I just want to make that for the record. That I know some of our employees were not very happy with this contract, but as things pass, we come to compromise. But so with that vote to move on with the city and know where we're going to be in the next 3 years, I will vote aye.
Councilmember Baker. Sorry.
Sorry, I threw you off.
You did, sorry.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Mr. Elsnab. Okay, item 11B. This is our fire chief, and this is approval to apply for the AFG radio grant equipment in the amount of $25,000. Good evening, Chief Lemus.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. So this evening, before you, Fire Department is requesting to enter into a contract with Lexipol. And they are the organization that provides our policy and procedure manuals. They also do grant writing, and they have a specific set of skills with fire grants especially. We were successful utilizing them for our AFG grant that we were just awarded this past year for all new air packs. So I was definitely interested when they reached out again to see if we wanted to get in on this year's AFG grant. So they charge us $5,400, and we do get some of that back if we're successful. So it would be just for the 5,400, but because it's over that set amount for city policy for grants, we have to come to you for approval. The grant, what we're looking for is to replace 20 radios that we currently have that are outdated. They're not able to be programmed. They're in state of disrepair just because they've been with us for so long, and they've worked well. But we also, like I said, can't program them. And if we had a McKinney fire where we had other agencies showing up at the scene and we had to get on the same frequencies as they are, so we could accommodate the whole response, it would be difficult to do, if not impossible. So we want to standardize what we have, so we all internally in our department have the same radios and have all the updated equipment. That includes the radios, chargers, microphones, antennas, the whole shebang. So with that, we're very excited to be able to do this again, and we just hope that you guys would approve and we can get this going. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you do have, if any.
Member McCoy?
Thank you. Chief, what's the amount of the grant that we're applying for?
If we're successful, we would look to replace all that equipment that I described. It would be, I have one bid so far, one quote, if you will, and that was roughly 56,000 and change, and all the way up to, it could range all the way up to 60 with, I'm working on a second quote. I'll have that by Friday.
Okay.
So it's,
And on the Wairika Fire Department Facebook page, there was a mention and a picture of I thought new radios.
correct. That was, if you recall back, I don't have the exact date. I'm sure Cindy can probably pull it up, but it was a few months ago, the California Fire Foundation, which was a non-match, so $15,000 to us, and we were able to purchase 4 radios. So that was,
Okay.
and we're going to use the same brand, so they're standardizing, which is, communication is key on any event, especially, on a tense fire situation. So yeah, they'll be the same radios, but that was a separate grant, but it was also, like I say, a non-match. It was just, you apply and explain the need, and generally you can, be successful. So
Thank you, sir.
good question. Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief Lemus? All right. Thank you. I'll open it up for public comment at this time. As there's no public comment, I will bring it back to the council for discussion and possible action. Any discussion? All right.
This is Councilman McCoy. I'd like to make the motion to approve the Wairika Fire Department's request to apply for the AFG radio equipment grant in the amount of 20. Do you want me to change that amount? In the amount of 25,000, assisted by Lexipol, or?
Correct. I was concerned about that earlier when I was speaking with Cindy. I think that would be appropriate because the cost to the budget would be the 5,400, which, we all
Got it.
have.
Okay.
We have that. We're not applying for anything in the neighborhood of 25. It would be the 56 to 60 in that range once I get the quote. So
Great, thank you. I stand
Thank you.
corrected. This Councilman McCoy, I'm going to read my motion again. The motion is to approve the Wairika Fire Department's request to apply for the AFG radio equipment grant in the amount of $25,000, assisted by Lexipol.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Council Member McCoy, second by Council Member Davis, to approve the Wairika Fire Department's request to apply for the AFG radio equipment grant in the amount of $25,000, assisted by Lexipol. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember McCoy,
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton,
Aye.
Councilmember Baker.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Item 11F, City Manager Staff Reports. Mr. Elsnab.
Good evening, council.
again.
I just have a couple updates for tonight. The city is looking into an electrification grant that impacts city infrastructure. This includes a planning grant that assesses EV vehicles for the city, EV infrastructure, as well as EV parking and that could potentially be on Minor Street near City Hall. So over the next couple of meetings, we'll have an item that we'll bring back for the council to consider and approving direction for the grant. I'm excited about that one. I hope that one works out. Second, the fire hall, finance is working diligently to put a finance package together for construction of the new fire station. Once we have an outlook on the loan package and finance package, we plan to reassess and reassess the staffing model. And the goal is still to bring on 6 full-time paid staff. And then lastly, just an update. We're going to spend some time, pretty optimistic this week. We're going to work on the plaza on Minor Street. Start cleaning it up, trimming trees, looking at the benches, fixing lights, and just looking to make it a more useful place on Minor Street. So I'm excited about that. And that is absolutely, yep. As Mr. McCoy said, yeah, with using Teen Challenge, who's interested in doing some volunteer projects for the community. So that's all I have tonight. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Any questions? All right,
Thank you.
Do we have any staff reports tonight as well?
No staff reports tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right, item 11G, it's the mayor, council members, reports, statements, and requests. Mr. McCoy.
John, I do want to thank you for reaching out for the electric grant to put electric cars, to put electricity so people can charge on Minor, because we have it at the south end of town. What I'd like to see is also business driven to the center of town, and we want to drive business to the north end of town, because we all know that taxation from sales tax drives our economy, and it helps us to enrich our parks, pools, roads, police, fire, all of that. And so I appreciate you doing that for us. I'm going to say this, I know everybody else will hit it up, but Wairika hit it out of the park with Lola. It was a very nice event. So I know some of you will go more into it. So, and I want to thank, I didn't mean to interrupt you, I apologize, but I do want to thank Teen Challenge in advance and Ryan Horvath for working on the plaza. It's going to look good. I think it'll take a few months, but it's going to be a very welcome change, and it's nice to get Teen Challenge involved in it.
Councilmember Middleton.
Okay. Just one item is I did have the continuum of care COC meeting at the Behavioral Health last week, I believe. Just a couple of things. No, I mean, I forgot my notes. I'm sorry at home. Is that they did form a committee, and Lorenzo will be sitting on it, is to do look into the possibility for an urban campground, whether it be for the city or the county is going to be involved, just kind of evaluating that and to see if it's going to be possible within our city, or maybe another city will have to host it. I don't know. So that's a good committee that will be formed at the COC. And one good news is that when we are putting places like the homeless shelter on Main Street, or whether it be the villages on Foothill, a lot of citizens say that it's not going to work. But I do have good news to report from the director for the villages on Foothill, is that they've had a recent graduate, and they've had some in the past too, but she brought up there was a graduate from that program that is entering into a stable home after being there for a few months. So that's good news. That's what it's about, is having these places for the next transitional spot for them to go to, and that's permanent housing. So that she was graduating that program and going in. So they do work, as long as the person wants to put in the time and what is needed to go into for a better future for them and to turn their life around. So it is working. So I want our citizens to know, and the council know, because that was a project we all fought hard with and partnered with the county to make it happen. So it is working. Everything has its bumps, of course, but it's nice to see good news come out of the program. And like I said, they do have a new director that's kind of revamping the program and really getting it back in line. And I think she's going to do great. So a lot of positive things are happening up at COC with regard to the homeless, mental health, and the program. So hopefully they will start, people take more advantage of it to go to the next step. So with that, I feel like I have a lot to report, but we haven't really done a whole lot of business during the holidays. So I think I'll just end with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Councilmember Davis.
A couple items. There's no fire safe council report because we postponed it till next Tuesday. You asked and I did. I spoke at Dwight Roberts's 100th birthday at the Elks Hall. It was a well-attended event. The Masonic Lodge and the Elks Lodge put it on. Brian Jones helped with the food. As a matter of fact, he supplied the food and did well. It was a nice attended event. Did you want to do a proclamation, I think it was? Or did you want to? No.
Well, does, the city actually provided Dwight Roberts with a proclamation honoring him on the occasion of him becoming a centurion. Is that how you say it? 100 years old. So we did do that for him. And I provided you with that proclamation. So I hope that you gave it to him.
I gave it to him.
Awesome.
I didn't
That's
read
good.
it, but I gave it to him. And I have a couple other items. The dog license fees, it was referred, I think we need to look at that. So that's just my opinion as a council person, so. And
To clarify, do you mean the notices? I'm sorry to interrupt. You mean the notices going out?
what are you pointing at?
I just have a question. The notices, for the notices, are you directing John to look at the notices
No, I just
or
want.
the whole fees?
The fees.
You want to read out the whole fee, bring back the whole fees again?
I'd like to look at them, so.
We just finished them though.
You
I'm
guys are talking
confused.
to me and I don't quite understand what you're saying.
Maybe the mayor can clarify what you're asking, because
What I'm asking is, I think we should look at them. They are pretty high. That's in my opinion.
Okay.
As a councilman. All right?
We can.
And it's a whole council thing.
yeah,
I mean, there's one price for altered dogs and there's another price for non-altered dogs. And Ms. Autry spoke that she's got 4 dogs and it's 4 fees and it's over $170 or $180 for 1 year. I think it's some way to look at.
Okay. So I would actually just like to suggest that you work with Mr. Elsnab and perhaps Ms. Aldrich to start looking at that. And
I'd be glad to do that.
thank you.
You bet.
Thanks.
And my last item that I have is, I really like the way you run our meetings. They're smooth and they flow. And we are not at 10 o'clock. We're at 7:39. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, I just have a quick report. I hope it's going to be quick. I am going to invite the Chief Gilman down to the podium as he, I'm not going to put you on the spot very much, I promise. No. But first of all, I'd like to start out by saying that we all attended the LOLA meeting last week. Wairika hosted it. And I especially just want to give a shout out to our city clerk, Cindy, as well as our interim city manager, John Elsnab. You guys did a great job putting that together. And it was a really well-attended meeting and it was very, very enjoyable. So thank you for your hard work. I appreciate it. So I think when I first came on council, I started talking about speeding issues, traffic issues. And then I talked with you about those loud motorcycles going up and down Knapp Street, Chief Gilman. But, you know, in the last probably 6 weeks, I've really experienced some scary situations with, I'm just going to call them out of control bicycle riders. It's crazy. I almost hit somebody on Minor Street last week. It was at night. The street was not well lit. The guy was on a dark bike and wearing black, and I just did not see him. As a matter of fact, it was so scary to me that I actually pulled over and had to take a couple of deep breaths. And I was out walking Rocky the Dachshund a couple of weeks ago and actually had to step off the sidewalk because there was a young man, not a kid, riding his bicycle down the middle of the sidewalk, and he did not give me the right of way. So we stepped out into the street. And I have noticed that there are a lot of people that are riding bicycles the wrong way, the wrong lanes. They are darting out in front of traffic. So I'm just going to ask you if your department, if they are seeing those types of things, if they could perhaps consider giving warnings to these bicycle riders. I certainly don't want them arrested or anything, but I mean, it is pretty scary. And I've had other people say things to me about that. So along with that, I know that recently the Resource Council, the Resource Center, excuse me, gave an annual report to the city of what they're doing. And then they ask if there's any community projects that they could do for us since we contract with them. And I would just like to ask that you guys, the chief of police and the interim city manager, consider putting together like a biking seminar, a biking rodeo to teach people, remind them, because it's not the young kids, it's older teenagers and younger people that are riding these bikes, but put on some kind of seminar about the rules of the road for bicyclists.
Some of that's already been out. The bike
Good.
rodeos we've done, California just changed a bunch of bike laws for the electric bikes as of January 1. So that was a big media push. I saw it on Facebook before I even got an email officially. So we do see it. There is information out there for the public on what's right. We've stopped a lot of people on bikes just in the last few weeks. We've stopped quite a few people on bikes. And I think it's because we're doing so good on DUIs, everyone's riding bikes. So, but yeah, we are aware of it.
Thank you. I appreciate you hearing me out.
Sure. I didn't have an update because I had a computer problem before I got here, so I couldn't print any stats. But we've also stopped, I think, 8 dirt bikes in the last like 3 weeks or so.
Nice.
So we've been catching a lot of people. So that has been stepped up too. So I just thought it'd be nice to share. I don't have the stats with me because I couldn't get logged in today.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thanks. Mr. Elsnap?
Mayor Baker, I'm sorry, mumbling tonight. Mayor Baker, I will reach out to the Resource Center tomorrow and see if they can look into that, putting on some type of bike event and what that would take. So I'll get back to the council on that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So I can get Google was, but you might have accountants or optimists or, you know, Rotary, Masons, Odd Fellows, any of those that want help to do something like that.
Absolutely. We'll look into it.
Thank you.
Real quick, if I may.
Oh,
Oh, I just want to respond to, I was driving down Main Street the other day and I did see 2 bicycles pulled over. And I was trying to look to see where the car was. I looked over, I go, oh, they pulled over the bicyclist. And I was thinking to myself, boy, when you think you're having a bad day and you get pulled over to your bike. But so they have been pulled over because I have witnessed it on Main Street. So when you mentioned that, I said, oh yeah, I did see that the other day a couple times.
thank you. Thank you.
They probably didn't think it was funny, but I got a chuckle out of it. So.
So with that, I will go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 7:45.
Good night, Andrew.
Good night.